Everyone has a positive attitude when they do something like this, and you feel that you're doing the best job you can with it, or you hope you are. But you never I never anticipate success in that order of magnitude that the first three films achieved. I was surprised by it. I was delighted by it. And but on another level, I knew when we were making the film what virtues it had. I knew that it was really good storytelling, really good filmmaking. It was funny. It had a great deal of adventure and surprise to it all. So. On one level, I wasn't surprised at its success. On another level, I certainly was surprised by the level of success that we reached. There was an ongoing dialogue. There was a period of maybe 5 or 6 years where nobody anticipated doing another, if I remember correctly. And then we began to, each of us in our way, to think about the potential, the possibility of doing another. Having been out in the world making all kinds of other movies, for myself, I was happy to do another Indiana Jones film just because they're so much damn fun. So much fun to do. Steven is very good at story, very particular about the way he constructs a story. But he adds also the element of filmmaking. He's just a master mechanic with film, and really brings passion and energy to every frame of film. He's the most attentive, particular, and I mean that in the nicest possible way, director I have ever worked for. He really is very clear about what it is that he wants to get out of every moment, and relentless about pursuing it. And I feel extremely comfortable in his hands. Indiana Jones is back at Marshall College teaching archaeology. He still pursues archaeological adventures in that time that he's not engaged in the classroom. He has this dual nature that he's always had, part academic, part adventurer, and all of that remains. Marion remains as feisty, independent, and strong as she ever was. So there's the relationship is not without some degree of contest between them. But I hope it'll be fun for an audience. He has turned out to be not just a wonderful actor, an inventive, unique, original personality with real storytelling sensibilities, and but also just a sweet guy, a really nice person. And so it's been a pleasure to work with him, and it's been a pleasure to spend time with him. I hadn't worn the Indiana Jones costume for 18 years. And early in our production process, the costume was sent to my house for me to try on, to see. where we would have to change sizes and so on and so forth. And I put it on, and it fit like a glove. I felt really comfortable and ready to go. And it felt good. It felt really good. If the hat falls off, we have to have a good reason for it. In other words, there's got to be a joke involved, or there's got to be some narrative process at work here, because the hat does not fall off. If it does come off when we're shooting, we usually cut and put it back on. But I've learned to do a lot of things, very physical things, and keep my hat on. And it's not by stapling it, really. But it's a lot of work sometimes to keep the hat on. The whip came back pretty easily too. I was surprised, because it's a relatively uncommon skill, and I wasn't terribly good at it, but I was good enough to for show business. When we did it 18 years ago, and I had lost touch with the first whip trainer that I used, so we had a new whip trainer who had a different technique. And I was able to bring it back in a couple of weeks of pretty diligent application. That's another area where we've had extraordinary contributions. In the 18 years that have passed, there have been great advances in both capacity and safety in the area of physical action, stunts. And we're lucky enough to have an extraordinary, I think, group of stunt guys led by Gary Powell. They truly are audience films. They are visceral and emotional and surprising, and it's a good ride. It's a great ride. And part of it comes from a sense in Stephen's mind that he is not separate and superior to his audience, that they are us, and that they deserve our best efforts.